This is the I Am IUN Oral History Project. My name is Jalissa, and we have here.
I am TerryAnn, Defensor.
Okay, Mr. Fencer. Um, what do you do here at IUN? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Jalissa, feel free to call me TerryAnn.
Okay, cool.
Wonderful. I am currently the Executive Liaison to the Office of the Chancellor.
Okay.
So I work with the Chancellor's office and the Chief of Staff day-to-day operations for IU Northwest.
Wow.
Previously, I worked in campus events, and I also did some public relations assistant work when I started. Approximately 17 years ago, I came to IU Northwest.
Okay. So you started here 17 years ago, but then I also wanted to get into a little bit about some of your history and your childhood a little bit.
Sure.
I did notice when I did do a little bit of research about you, I did notice that you are a Gary girl.
Yes.
You're from Gary. And actually, I found some more information that you actually lived across the street from IUN. So tell me a little bit about your childhood.
Absolutely. I was born and raised here in Gary. My parents owned a business, a flower shop in Gary.
Okay.
And I lived off of 35th and Washington Street in a
That's
3-flat
down the street.
apartment.
Yeah.
Right now, that address would be the backyard of Cedar Hall
Mm-hmm.
from campus. I went to Holy Trinity School on 11th and Madison.
Okay.
And then I transferred to another Catholic school, St. Peter and Paul in Maryville, and went to Andrean High School.
Yep.
So I'm very much right down Broadway.
Wow.
I know the streets pretty well.
Okay. So with you having your parents working in like the flower shop, how did that even come about? Because I know that they did it, but they just kind of pushed you into it, or
Right. My father started working for the Union Floral Company when he was 14 years old.
Oh wow.
And so it was owned by a different family, the Owens family. Later on, his parents then purchased that flower shop, and they kept the flower shop name, Union Florist. And then it was on 15th and Grant Street in Gary. So my father continued when he married my mother.
Oh.
Then they took over the business from my grandparents, and they owned it for just under 47, just under 50 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of been working for quite some time because of your parents and your mom and your dad. They was like, okay, you're gonna come with me.
Exactly. Well, the school bus dropped me off right in front of the flower shop.
Right.
So my parents would drop me off in the morning for school, but the school bus would drop me off in front of the flower shop.
So it was like they were just
exactly. So
second home.
Very much so. I would watch TV in the back, and I would watch Bozo Circus. Was my little hiding place in the back of the flower shop. I was 12 years old when I started working in the flower shop, kind of being the runner when you have to deliver flowers. Someone has to take the flowers to the door, or cleaning up, or wiring flowers, or getting things back boxed and ready. So I've been working for quite a few years.
Okay. So how a good question about that is like, how would you say that having that work experience so early helped you now?
Oh, great question. It gives you a work ethic that, my parents had to pay for their own insurance. They had to take care of their own employees. They had to make sure that bills were paid and lights were on and the plumbing worked. There were 7 apartment units in that building, so we also were like landlords.
Family oriented. Everybody knows
everybody has to work together. So you kind of know the hard work ethic of putting in the hours will give you a reward at the end.
Okay. Would you say that there's any con to having to work so young?
Oh, great. A little bit. My family really didn't go on vacations because of the type of business that they did. When you're in the floral business, most weddings are on the weekends.
Oh, yeah.
So for that reason, or special celebrations, we would go to them, but we might be late to the function. So we really didn't go on the Disney World Florida vacation because of the cycle of work, or when people would take holidays at the Christmas or Easter, those holidays. That's the flower season, Mother's Day. those were big holidays to work.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was perfect living right here. I lived on 35th Avenue before IU was here, but it was not the expanse that it is today. There was a small swing set and a wading pool where this building, the library, currently has been built.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I remember that going over and being on the swing set. I was very young, but I do remember when the actual library building was built.
Okay. So let me ask you a little bit more about your profession, but in public relations though.
Yes.
Before we started into the liaison.
Yes.
I did see that you worked with the Star Plaza in Omar. Can you explain that a little bit to me a little bit more?
Absolutely. There is back in the day, there was the Holiday Star Theater owned by the White family, the Dean and Barbara White family, and their son, Bruce White, who were major developers of entertainment and hotel products, hotels throughout the region as well as throughout the United States. And they built a 347 room hotel, the Holiday Inn.
Wow.
So thus it was called Holiday Star. And then they built a 3,400 seat theater at I-65 and Route 30. I became, first out of college, I was an admissions counselor at St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer, Indiana.
Okay.
So that was my educational side out of college, working for a university. I then started working for Bruce White as the publicity manager of the theater, worked there, and then I started working for, which was then Canterbury Productions, who did oldies concerts throughout the country, and then later worked for what was Omar Presents, and that is Outstanding Musical Artist Repertoire. Both of those are local companies who did oldies concerts, 50s, 60s music, but nowadays oldies music is 70s and 80s music too. Time flies by. So the opportunity came later in life to have an opportunity here, and I applied, and I've been here since.
Wow. Now, another question. With you going into because I'm just kind of flying right on off.
Sure.
St. Joseph's College.
Yes.
How did that get you into what you're doing now? Because that's quite like straight out of college. You're just straight into admissions.
Right. So I was a business major from St. Joe. So I was a marketing and communications major is what I did at St. Joseph's. The opportunity came, I volunteered to give tours to other students and their families when they would come to campus.
Cool.
So I was called an admissions courier. That's what they called their tour guides. With that, I just loved the campus. I was a cheerleader on campus, so I got to know a lot of students. Yes.
Go ahead.
And with that, though, giving tours to other students, it gave me that love for expressing how much I appreciated my education. And that's college, that the opportunity arose after graduation, or that spring, I should say, that an opportunity arose that they had an opening. I applied. I just was the lucky one that filled the position, because they interviewed quite a few people, and I was just fortunate to get that job. I then took my little car, my little car that I bought, and I would go representing the university at college fairs for other activities, going to different schools and talking to students, just like our IU Northwest admissions office does, talk to students and their families to give them an idea of what programs and what the idea of going to college is like.
Okay. Now,
then how did I get to entertainment?
Yes.
Well, that's actually a family story, kind of. I guess it's a way of networking. It's, you know people in your larger family, and I've had always known about Holiday Star. I went to concerts there, growing up. But the opportunity came that I was at a family function and sat across from someone at a bridal shower. and they say, hey, what are you doing now? I know you graduated a couple years ago. And that person was a vice president for Bruce White and said, we might be having a position open in public relations. I sent in my resume, and then I started working for the White family, and they did concerts out of 365 days a year. They were probably busy 280 days a year back then when I first started.
Okay.
Very busy. So anything from Sesame Street to, the concerts could have been anything from country to rock and roll to R&B. A lot of jazz came through. So they did the Oak Ridge Boys. They did Kenny Rogers. Anita Baker was really big.
I love Anita Baker.
Isn't she? Just perfect. It was really wonderful. It was a good experience. So I worked with the press to get media coverage, because if you get the media coverage the week prior or the month prior to any event, you get more attendees and you get tickets sold.
True.
And then that also tied into hotel packages.
Which is more money.
Yes.
And then you get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But here's another question for you. If you were to see yourself, well, say you were looking at yourself at the first year of your college, would you expect to be here?
No, I wouldn't. It was funny because I'm not an IU or IU Northwest grad. It's sometimes that funny story which I think some students in Gary feel the same way, that everyone wants to go away to college, but you forget what is in your backyard.
Yes.
And in my case, it was what is in my front yard.
Literally.
Exactly. So you forget what's in your front yard, your backyard, or down the street, and you look for things down the road or going out of state. And I think but there's also the opportunity that we do here that I learned once I started working here. It was very similar. You can be a very big fish in a small pond.
True.
You don't need to go to IU Bloomington or Purdue Lafayette or Ball State. It gives you that opportunity. That's where my mother specifically felt that I would do better at a small school. And because IU was across the street, I was like, no, I don't want to go there. So St. Joe worked out very well for me, because I could get involved in student government. I could get involved in other activities and do volunteer work. So you become the big fish in a very small pond. Okay. Whereas if I would have gone to a school with 20,000 students, I would have survived. I would have gotten a degree, but it would have been a different experience.
Probably would have been a little bit harder to network.
Yes.
So I can see that being that bigger picture. But then again, with understanding the flip side, it can be a good thing. So I'm not going to say that everybody should just be going in just a small school. Go anywhere you want.
Exactly.
Whatever fits you.
Exactly. But once I started working here at IU Northwest, I immediately saw the similarity that I missed myself, that this is the big school name, the big school degree, but in a smaller setting where you could be that shining star in a smaller area and get different opportunities, bigger opportunities.
I can see that.
Because we don't have 20,000. So there's a positive to it.
Yeah, it's like, everybody kind of knows each other.
Absolutely. People know each other.
Becomes a big family.
Absolutely. People know each other. That's for sure.
So it's kind of hard not to be like, when I see you down the street, hey, Miss TerryAnn.
Yes.
Because we know each other.
Absolutely, we do.
Okay. So going through different professions, how did it fit for your life?
That's a great question.
Or did you have to make it fit?
Well, I think sometimes that both happens. That's a making things fit, making things work. But they were similar in different ways.
Okay.
So starting out, I never liked working the front of the store at the flower shop. Hey. I liked
Are you shy, Miss TerryAnn?
No, I'm not. But I didn't like being in the front of the store.
Okay.
I liked being in the back of the store. The actual hard sale was a little harder for me. I worked at JCPenney in college. That was different because you just stood behind the cash register. Back in that day, you really weren't on the floor selling an item. So I was in retail. That was that. And that's kind of where public relations is. It's not a hard sell, that it's your behind the scenes. It's all the advertising before an event, your postcards, your television, your radio, anything is before the activity. It's kind of the behind the scenes.
I like that.
And
sounds fun, honestly.
So the ideas of that and being in that live entertainment world, when I went into that area, it's the behind the scenes. So when you're doing admissions work, you're not exactly selling door to door with a pencil. You're giving a picture. You're telling a story to a family or to a student to say, what do you have? What are you selling? But it's selling the whole person, selling the mind, selling the whole, your future, your whole future. So then when the opportunity at IU Northwest, when you start going, so events has already been part of it. We touched on that weddings happen every Saturday in the floral business. I've seen every wedding you can think of. And the happy bridezillas.
Oh, I deal with them because I work at a bridal shop.
There you go.
So I know.
Okay, so then you know. It's that all that behind the scenes type work that puts you in the picture of events. So when an events position came up here, it would be the same. You're behind the scenes. The story, you're not the bride, you're not the guest speaker, but you're helping put all the pieces of the puzzle together. You know,
is it hard when you're behind the scenes and you're doing all the work behind the scenes to not say anything right, like before, like, because you know before, but they not supposed to know, so you got to be like,
I tell them. No, I tell them.
What?
Well, because if there's a fire about to happen or a trip and fall, excuse me there, you know, you have to bring it to their attention so that it runs smoothly for them. It runs smoothly for the building. If you know that they're putting candles on a table that,
well, I was saying,
or something that way.
An event that was happening. Say you had an event and you wanted, this event is next September, but nobody's supposed to know yet until probably like in August. And you like, I want to just tell everybody.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's closer to my current position. That especially working in, excuse my voice, excuse me, you know, the Chancellor's office. There is a lot of information that is still being developed, being determined, and it's still a base draft, an idea that it's private information. It's absolutely private information. Putting a concert on sale. Everyone wants to know when Taylor Swift is coming to town or when anyone's coming to town. So that information is private and we know about it, you're right, weeks, months in advance because everyone has to plan, but it doesn't, the tickets don't go on sale until...
You can't tell somebody, oh, the tickets go on sale that day.
No.
Like you can't.
No, it isn't. It's, so there's a lot of privacy in a lot of jobs that you have to be professional and keep these great ideas to yourself.
That has to be. Because me personally, when I find out a good thing, I'll be like, I found something out. Hey guys.
I know the sale. I know the coupon. Things have changed as the years went on because of the internet, because of cell phones, because of the way photography is, you know. So things have changed that before it was an actual camera that would have hard film in it. Now everybody has a cell phone.
Everybody can film.
Yeah. So that secret is really hard to keep.
Oh, I know. Okay. So another question I do have, because I'm almost done, but what is your biggest accomplishment in life, and what is your biggest accomplishment with your profession?
Oh, I think in life it's attempting to be a good person and be kind and friendly every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. We don't know what everyone's going through.
Of course.
So when someone is me telling you that you can't put that there, that that's a trip and fall, they don't know the back history of the insurance. They don't know the back history. And I'm just trying to attempt to help them and help the corporation that you work for.
Mm-hmm.
That. But
It's protection.
protection is what it is. But we also don't know who's sick behind the scenes or what someone's going through. Everyday life is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Every day is, we're glad we're alive every day we wake up. So just attempting to be a good person
Right.
is the best. I think that's the best accomplishment. But in work, in a similar manner, just being working hard and being proud of that work, but making sure that it's the best you can be and being the best showcasing whoever you're working for. Whether you were working for the small little Catholic college down the road,
Mm-hmm.
you are working for a major corporation, the White family, or you're working for, the biggest Indiana University Northwest. You're
Right.
representing every day that corporation. I was fortunate enough to receive some awards that I didn't realize that people saw what I did behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
receiving the award for customer service,
Okay.
receiving the Employee of the Year award. So those are accolades that your colleagues, and that's nice to see that someone else saw you.
Mm-hmm.
So those are, and at the end of a big event or whatever the project is, knowing you did your best.
Okay.
That's the key, is if you gave it your all and it still didn't work out, you have to know that you worked your hardest. That it starts with that hard work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
Do your best and it'll come out the best it can come out. Because
Yeah.
some things might not be in your control.
That is so true.
It rained. You can't control that.
Right.
But you did everything you could, and Mother Nature then came into the play.
Can't stop that. So,
Exactly.
I mean, those are the things that we dread that to happen during events or just anything that you have planned. But it's just having that optimistic attitude about and being able to be adaptable, where you can change something up. Be like, okay, we can't do it outside. We're gonna do it here.
Adaptable is the word.
Yeah, it's understanding what you can do and what your resources are.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, if you were to give advice to someone going into your profession, what would you tell them?
I think observing and volunteering. So come out of your comfort zone that you think you want to go into events or entertainment or admissions or all this. So many things still tie in together with each other. So when you attend some function, or you think you want to go into teaching, be an observer.
Right.
So that's the key of looking around the space. No matter what you do, be an observer.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if you can volunteer in other areas, that gets you a broader perspective of things. So those are key points. And when you are in that space and you've observed, even if you're shy, walk up to one person and say, "Hi, I'm a student. I'm in business, or I'm in education, or I'm in biology."
Mm-hmm.
You have the same conversation we're having right now. You
Right.
learn about the other person.
Just figuring everybody out.
Yeah.
And networking, that's a part of networking.
Right. And finding friends. That's
Yes.
part of it. And networking not just in your area, but other areas. So I mentioned a science there. Throw in a friend or a networking colleague from another area,
Okay.
because it all ties in. At the end of the day, it all is going to somehow tie in together.
That is true. I have seen that happen
Yeah,
just with just my profession, so I understand.
that's
But
true.
is there anything else you would like to add?
That's always something fun. Um, coming full circle, that my first job out of college happened to be at a college,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't think I was going to come back into education. But when that opportunity came, although I'm not a teacher, I'm in that atmosphere that you can come back full circle and still provide your work and your talents in that educational environment.
Right.
So I found that to be an interesting full circle. And I'm here now for 17 years, and I presume I'll be here for quite a few more.
You will.
So
You got this.
the idea that that's the full circle moment of, you never know where you're going to land.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you go to a bridal shower or you actually want to move to a different job, keep those options open. I didn't think that I would end up here in the actual chancellor's office, and the opportunity arose, and it has been the best experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm proud to be from Gary. This is the best. I know, we all say these things, but it's true that I have that history. That be proud of wherever you came from.
Of course.
Be proud of that and take advantage of that. Get to know the people in your community. It's historical. It's the best.
Yes. I totally agree. So, and I piggyback on what you said. I'm not necessarily from here. I'm from Chicago. But I have been here for quite some time, where I went to high school here and middle school. So, and I like what I've learned because I get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
So, and I love that you are open about your past and your future, where you wanted to go. So, and I appreciate you coming here and giving me the time here. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jalissa. Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
been such a great experience meeting you.
It was a good time with you too.
Great.
I
Thank
love
you.
All right. Thank you.